Today is Sunday, May 5th. So I'm still sitting outside on the swing enjoying nature. And I was just thinking, I work 12-hour shifts and I work like 5 days in a row. And so sometimes by day 3, my feet begin to swell because I'm not on my feet the entire 12-hour shift, but for maybe half of the time on a good night, and sometime it may be more than 50% of that 12-hour shift that I'm up on my feet. But my feet may begin to swell. My feet and my ankles may begin to swell, and of course usually the right foot may swell a little more than the left foot. And one time when I went to the doctor for a checkup, and they noticed that my right ankle had some swelling in it, which is called non-pitting edema. If your fingerprint does not stay embedded in your skin, once you press your finger into your skin, if that print does not stay embedded, then it's called non-pitting edema, which edema means swelling. And so pitting would be the mark of your finger staying in the skin once it's removed. And but if your fingerprint stays embedded in your skin once your finger is removed, then that's called pitting edema, hence leaving a pit in your skin, and edema for swelling. So I was just thinking about that because I was looking down at my feet as I was swinging, and I once knew somebody that had heart issues, and they would get swelling in their legs because, of course, your heart, pumps blood and this, that, and the third. So if your heart is not pumping blood properly, then it will cause you to retain fluid, which will be edema, and that will definitely cause pitting edema. So if you have pitting edema, then most likely you have heart issues. And so with this person that I knew that had heart issues, they would have pitting edema and like different little signs that I could tell if they had been taking their medicine or had not been taking that medicine, because their eyes would begin to look dark around their eyes. Their skin would just look different, like their skin will look a darker shade. They will have swelling in their ankles, swelling in their feet, and of course when you have swelling, then that makes it difficult or uncomfortable for you to walk or things of that sort. And when I was thinking about that, and this particular person that I knew, they also had issues with love. Like they had issues with recognizing love for what it was. They had issues with, like, they had a warped way of seeing love. They had a perverted way of giving and receiving love. And that is so ironic, or not so ironic, that they would also present with heart issues. So you have an issue with love, and you also have an issue with your heart. I'm not sure if I said that right. I'm not sure if I said love first or heart first, but you have physically heart issues. You have physical issues with your heart. And you also have an issue with giving and receiving love, which would mean that you have spiritual heart issues as well. Because love is the spiritual condition of your heart. Your actual physical issues of your heart would be the way in which your heart pumps blood to, send blood out to the rest of your body. So the giving and the receiving of blood physically is your physical heart issues, because your heart gives and receives blood to the rest of your body. And spiritually, you will be the manifestation of your heart spiritually. You give and you receive love. So that made me just wonder, which I know that there are some loving people that can manifest heart issues, but that just made me wonder the correlation between the two. Like, was that person's heart issue spiritually so perverted that it manifested as physical heart issues because it had went on for so long, and that it had corrupted so many systems in the body, and that person had ignored it or shooed it away, or just kind of counted it out, or just said, well, that's probably due to this, or that's due to that, or whatever the case may be. Because remember, when anything is perverted, it has a twisted way of thinking. There's a twisted way of seeing. So you think of love and you see love in a twisted manner. You think of things and you see things in a twisted manner, which I hate to use this as an example, but when I say perverted, the average worldly mind may think of, well, not the average, but some, the worldly mind may think of people, that participate in fill in the blank. So a child is something precious. A child is something, a gift from God. They're vibrant. They're, loving. They're lovable. A child will actually teach you a lot about life in general, because they're full of questions, and they're full of this life that we have grown mundane and kind of blah about. So, when you see things, when you see a child in that manner, then that's the proper way that you should see a child. That's the God-given way that you should see a child. But someone with a perverted mind will see a child and think of sex. Fill in the blank. That's a perverted mind. That's a perverted, a perverted mind will give you perverted eyes. So now you see this beautiful thing, and you see it and you feel about it in a twisted way that God did not intend for you to see it in, or feel about it in that way. So that's perversion. And so when I think about this person, I think about how their hearts and their minds and their eyes was perverted when it comes to the subject of love, because of whatever that their, childhood or their life experiences were. But it had been going on evidently for so long that now their spiritual deficit is now showing up in a physical manner. So not only are their hearts spiritually affected, now their heart is being physically affected. So when you can't even escape this heart issue, you can't escape it spiritually, because you're already perverted. So you just, see it, you feel about it as a negative way. And the things that you see as love is really not love. What you feel is love is really not love. And You can't escape it spiritually, okay? So now you can't even escape it physically, because now your actual physical heart is now, what's the word I want to use? Is now stagnant. Is now it is not stagnant, but it's stagnant wouldn't be the right. Well, yeah, it's stagnant. It's slow with how it pumps. It's slow with how it pumps out blood to the rest of the body, with how it also receives blood from the rest of the body. All of that is stagnant. It's slow. I'm trying to think of another word. The other word I'm trying to think of is, well, when I think of it, I'll say it. But now you are spiritually stagnant when it comes to love, and you're also physically stagnant when it comes to your heart. So what does a person do when you don't have a way to turn? Like you can't depend on your spiritual way of giving and receiving love. And now you can't even depend on your physical way of giving and receiving blood, which Jesus' blood is God's love, is a depiction of life, is a depiction of God's love to us. So really, your blood really is love. So when your heart won't even give out or receive blood in the manner that it is intended, what do? They have medicine, and they also have surgery. When it's at its worst, they have surgery. So think of that in the spiritual realm. In the spiritual realm, what your surgery is a moment where you are faced with a decision or with a revelation that you can't escape. You're faced with this revelation, and now you see things. It's like the veil has been lifted from over your eyes, like you have had the LASIK surgery so that you can see more clear. Now you see things in a different way, so now you appreciate it in a different way. Now you feel about it in a different way. So if I never knew that this flower that I'm looking at, if I never knew that it was purple and that they also had yellow flowers, now previously, if I never knew that there was a difference between the colors, that there were purple flowers and that they were yellow flowers, and they were all in the same, flower pot, okay? If I never knew that previously, so now when I have this LASIK surgery and I can see it so clearly, now I can really appreciate it, because I never knew that those two flowers even existed in the same pot that I've been looking at this whole time. Now I can appreciate the purple flowers for being so vibrant and purple, and I can also appreciate the yellow flowers for being so vibrant and yellow. They're both beautiful in their own right, and they're all in the same pot that I've been looking at this whole time. So in the spiritual realm, when God shows you things that's been right in front of your face that you have not appreciated, or that you have not even seen it for what it was, do you take heed to that? Like how would that make you feel? That all this time I've been looking at these flower pots this whole time. I've been looking at these flowers sitting in this pot the whole time. It's been right here. these colors have been right here for me to see, but I haven't seen it because my vision has been blurred. My vision has been, there's been a veil over my eyes. So everything that I see has been, had a dark coat over it. So I may not see purple as purple. I may see purple as black. I may see yellow as red. So everything bright looks dark because there's already a dark veil over my eyes. So everything bright is going to automatically look dark. Everything dark is going to look darker. So nothing is bright. So love, which is the brightest thing ever, is bright as sunshine, is brighter than the brightest, star in the sky. So that love is not going to look bright to me. That love is going to look dark. Because everything that I see is already dark with this dark veil over my eyes. Everything is dark. So I can only imagine that love to that person, that the dark things are what was normal to them, because that was already, if they already have this dark veil over their eyes, then the dark things are going to act dark. Bright things are going to act bright. So if you're coming to me and you're really bright, but I don't see you as bright, but you're bright, so you're acting bright, then that's weird. That's odd. That's unusual. Because all I see, like that doesn't line up with what I see. What I see is dark, so why you acting all bright? I see dark. So these people over here that's acting dark, now that lines up with what I see. Now that lines up with my vision. That lines up with what my eyes are showing me. The way you're acting in your dark manner, in your dark fashion, lines up with the darkness that I see with my own eyes. Now you over here with your bright self, you over here shining just as bright as a sunflower, because this person is just like me. Like they got eyes just like I got. Like I know I got on yellow, so why you not appreciate my yellow? I'm acting like I wear yellow, so why you act like you don't see my yellow? Because they don't. They honestly do not see your yellow. They honestly do not appreciate or see your brightness as being bright. Now your brightness is weird to them. Your brightness is odd. Your brightness does not line up with what their eyes are seeing. So where did you come from? Where did you come from, really? Why are you so bright? When everything else in my life is dark and is acting dark. So why are you, human, over here acting so bright? I like it. I like how you acting. But I'm actually kind of ashamed to like it because it's different. Like nobody else in my darkness, in my dark state, nobody else acts like that. And so why am I acting like this with you? Like I hated that I want to be bright with you too. I know you don't look bright. You still don't look bright to me now. But you acting bright and I like it. Like, and why do I feel prompt to act bright with you? You're not supposed to be bright because that's not what I see. So imagine that person now So imagine that person now actually seeing the colors. They're actually seeing your vibrancy. They're actually seeing your shine. How do you think they will feel? The thing that comes to mind is the one that got away. They will see you as the one that got away. That's the one that I did not recognize it for what it was. They was such a vibrant person. They was as they say, they was vibing high. I like, they vibes, all this good stuff, but they did not see it or see you for what you were, because you were so different from everything else dark in their life. You were so different you acted so different from what their eyes showed them. And for this type of person, my heart goes out to them, because imagine how many people they mistreated or how many opportunities they missed out on because they didn't see it or appreciate it for what it was. And imagine the person that was trying to show them the brightness, the vibrancy. Imagine that person, they not understanding why you don't appreciate them. They don't understand why you don't see them for what they are, because I am what I am. Like, I'm vibrant, I'm bright. So why don't you see it? Like, I don't see how you couldn't see it. Surely you see it. Surely you see it. I'm wearing bright yellow every day. Surely you see it. Okay, you don't see it today. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, maybe you had shades on. Okay. Oh, okay. You don't see it the next day. Okay. Well, it was raining today, so maybe the gloominess in the sky, kind of, made my yellow look a little dingy. So okay, we got another chance. Okay, so tomorrow, okay, you still don't see it. Now why don't you see it? Like, is something wrong with me? Like, am I really wearing yellow? Is this really yellow that I'm wearing? I thought I was wearing yellow. And I washed my yellow to make sure that it was still shining bright. Like, I washed it. Just for you, because I really want you to see my yellow. Other people compliment me on my yellow. So why don't you see it? Why don't you compliment me on my yellow? Why do you act like my yellow is irritating? Because it is. Your light can be very irritating to darkness. The God in you is your light. That can be very irritating to the darkness or the evil in someone else. And that evilness in their spirit could definitely manifest in a physical form. So think it not odd when you see what their deficiency is in the spiritual form, and it shows up in the physical form as well. Because as it is in heaven, so it will be on earth. So if they don't fix it as it is in heaven, as it is on the spiritual form, then so it will be on earth. If they don't fix their spirit man, then it will definitely show up in their human form. That's just something to remember. That's just something to think about when we're thinking about our own issues, whatever spiritual issues that we have. We definitely want to fix it. We definitely want to deal with it on a spiritual level, because you know when you're not right spiritually. If you're tapped in spiritually, then you know when you're not right spiritually. So you definitely want to fix your spirit man first before it shows up to your earthly form. You all have a blessed day.